Hello y'all, it's Moondrop again, and here I'm trying to make up for Ninja's laziness, who was apparently too busy to release even a 2-part review. Nerd. Anyway, time to make up for lost time and talk about a collection of mostly good episodes. And to make it interesting, let's go from worst to best, at least in my opinion, which is the correct opinion. First up, every little thing she does. Yeah, if you watched Ninja's reaction to this episode, you'd know by now that we didn't favor this episode that much. But bluntly, I found it frustrating, and it all comes down to her. Starlight was almost as unlikable in this episode as Zephyr Breeze, and when your likableness is comparable to Zephyr Breeze, you know you're far past the point of bucking up. Look, me and Ninja don't mind flawed characters, we in fact enjoy them. It's why we loved Rarity almost as much as Spike in Season 1 and 2. However, a flawed character must be likable and not just in they're sort of relatable sort of way. Starlight casually brainwashing her friends, simply put, crossed a line. I know many will contend that Twilight did the same in Lesson 0, but the key difference is Twilight only started love-washing every pony after a long mental breakdown over the course of the day and, well, episode. However, she quickly realized she bucked up and tried to fix it. Starlight, in contrast, goes straight to brainwashing and after her friends become zombies, just decides to go with it and without any guilt until Twilight slaps her on the hoofs and fixes Starlight's problem for her.
I finally untangled that mess of a spell and got every pony home. It was really powerful stuff. They're gonna feel that in the morning.
But simply, Starlight crossed a line of unlikability. Then the episode proceeds to rest on this unlikable character's shoulders, which is just sort of annoying. I feel this episode would have been much stronger if Starlight, with common moral sense, would have realized she'd done bucked up well before the castle was flooded, and proceeded to try to fix the main six instead of just going with it. Even if trying to fix it failed horribly, it would have made her look better. That would have done wonders for her likability and helped also cut down this episode's repetitive middle act. That, or this episode could have been moved earlier in her characterization so it didn't feel like it's backpedaling on her character development. That said, this episode wasn't horrible. It was structured well enough and had some great scenes, like the very accurate depiction of an introvert's panic attack at being overwhelmed.
Okay, Starlight, you've got this. A handful of friendship lessons is nothing compared to the spells you've mastered.
So, not a bad episode, just annoying at times. Next up is Buckball, a standard good episode that did the seemingly impossible and made Snails a likable character. Quite the accomplishment for a first-time writer. In fact, I would go so far to say this is probably the best first episode from a writer since Season 2. Though that ain't really saying much as the bar was really low there. But it was a good episode. The main issues I'd have with it really dealt with Rainbow and AJ getting more of the focus than Fluttershy and Pinkie. Because of course Rainbow and AJ just needed more attention this season instead of Pinkie or Fluttershy. It's not like those two had less episodes than every pony else. However, this episode seems to lack progression for the show in terms of changing the formula, which is why I rank it lower. I wouldn't say it's filler, but it's just sort of a more forgettable episode than the rest on this list. In contrast, The Fall of Our Cutie Marks might actually be a more flawed episode than Buckball, however I rank it higher as it does progress the CMC and the show as a whole. The key to this is a certain hyperactive Griffin that there is still a severe lack of plushies for. Honestly, the biggest flaw for me wasn't Gabby being too overbearing like some found her, but with the way the episode presents the CMC as being experts at solving cutie mark problems, even though they only had that for like one bucking episode. Yeah, this episode actually made me hate Carts even more for, well, just replacing an episode that actually would have developed the CMC's role as, fixing cutie mark problems. Like any of these problems I brought up that actually were never shown. Also, is Gabby a throwback?
I'm Gabriella, but you can call me Gabby since we're friends now. And I love the way you signed it.
Gabby Gums, that was a stroke of genius.
But Ninja and my favorite episode from this recent batch has to be Viva Lost Pegasus. And yes, it's Lost, not Law. Idiot. Yes, I know Flutters fans picking a Fluttershy episode as their favorite is a big surprise. Woohoo. But honestly, it did surprise us. On our first viewing, we thought this episode was good, but that fault was still better. But upon reviewing it and discussing it with the reaction crew, our opinion on the episode improved. It really is the best map episode we've ever had, well, at least since Griffinstone. Which is a sort of sad statement for map episodes since we haven't had a great episode since the first one. Yeah. But this episode works because it's just well put together. The narrative presentation and pacing are second only to Salro View this season, and on top of that, we are introduced to a new highly animated setting, filled to the brim with references, and a rather dark new villain. Seriously, this seemingly mere Elvis reference stallion turned out to be a disturbing secret psychopath that feels no remorse for bucking with ponies' minds. And friendships, in this case. Not to mention, unlike most map episodes, this one feels like it actually had repercussions for the main six involved. I mean, just look at AJ's Samuel L. Jackson impression when she first hears Flim and Flam. She'd win the face of the episode contest if Fluttershy wasn't there to seal said title again. Currently, they're reigning champ. But yeah, a bunch of decent to great episodes back to back. Hope the rest of the season can keep this up. But tell me your thoughts below. Which were your favorite and least favorite? Well, until next time, keep calm and an open mind.